G'day gang, Simo and Ed back again to talk about the best places to go fishing for go-kart tracks.
Absolutely.
And this week we are going to reveal a market that we believe no other go-kart track has considered tapping into.
That's right, we've talked to a lot of tracks around the globe and we've not heard anybody mention this, so you're going to want to tune in, Stay with us for a few minutes and find out what we're about to talk about.
This one will be huge.
It will.
So, you're with Simo and Ed, and this is the Fastline Track Growth Show, where we talk all things karting and business. The next one's going to be a controversial one, I believe.
Well, this is one that I've probably got a few nodding heads to the video so far.
Yeah.
Right,
they're all going to go, oh, you fucking nut, crazy guys.
There's one area that I can pretty much guarantee that none of you are tapping into, and it needs a bit of thought. Right, so in Britain we call it the OAP market.
The old age pensioners.
The old age pensioners, which is 67 now, is it, in the UK? Used to be 65, I think it's gone up.
I think you get a bus pass at 60, don't you?
I don't know. I think.
I'm pretty
why
sure
are you looking at me and asking me, you cheeky?
Well, I wouldn't know. I'm 20 years off that.
Right, you're probably sitting there looking at this, going, "But you want old people to come down your track? Have you have you lost your marbles?" Right, but I think things have changed.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're talking about this because I looked at you when you mentioned that.
You thought it was fucking crazy when I mentioned this earlier.
And you gave a really good argument. The youth of today are really wrapped up in cotton wool.
Oh my God, they've got so risk averse, bless their cotton socks.
You know, everything's got to be sterile and things like this. We're, growing up as kids, we were eating dirt and we didn't have a mobile phone to tell us when to come home. It was like when the street lights came on. We came home and we were out. We weren't in front of video games.
Nope.
You know,
we've got a bit of daring do about us, and we've got a bit, so I'm in my 50s. I know you'll be shocked to learn. Don't mind admitting on camera. But the thing is, we've got disposable income. Right, so if you're going to go and pick an audience, possibly one of them would be strong spending power. Right, well, they tick a huge box there. Untapped potential, no other track or anything is really targeting them to go and come down to their track. Tick. If they're retired...
They've got a lot of time on their hands, haven't they?
Time on their hands, tick. A lot of time on their hands at the point when the track is quiet. So I can start to make crazy offers to them. Tick. Are they risk averse? Not really. Have they still got that like joie de vivre, that feeling of life in them? Well, that generation...
I think they do.
That generation are so up for stuff, right? I look at Generation Z, I look at some of the kids in my family, and I'm going, come on, we'll go and do, and it could be something really crazy. And they look at me like it's crazy Uncle Eddie. Right? That's what they think. And yet there's me, my sis, my brother, he's a freaking lunatic. I'd be like that. Should we go and have a balcony dive off the year? I'm up for that. Whereas I think the nephews and nieces would be hanging on to us going, careful, this is really dangerous. It'd be us that are going to fall into trouble. Now, they're the same people that are going to be happy to go go-karting with huge spending power.
Yeah.
So how do you tap into that? And how do you give them a relatively safe environment where they feel like they're taking risk and where they can go spend a bit of time with their mates? I like playing a lot of golf. It doesn't really raise the heartbeats like I wish it would sometimes. No. So get me down the blowing track, get people, and I'm thinking of people I used to play rugby with. I mean, they're crazy. And they've got lots of money, so it's a dangerous combo. They've got nowhere to spend it. You put something on and aim it at them. In fact, my old rugby team, if we had like a get-together and it was go-karting, they'd all be there, they'd all be spending money. They've all, lots of them have retired.
It's crazy.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
And what's the other thing they're going to do when they come off the track?
So you're telling me that your rugby team is OAPs?
Yeah, some of them are. I captained a team at a very young age. When I got into seniors, I captained a couple of teams, and it would be not unusual to have people even 25, 30 years older sometimes playing rugby still. So I've got a real age spread there, and if I put out a shout and said, this is happening, how about it?
They'd be up for it.
They would come, and they're a bit crazy. And of course, when they're off the track, I hope your bar's open. because it's rugby, there's a drinking spirit in there. They'll drink your bar dry. So, I mean, crikey, you might as well just start looking at your Ferrari catalogues if you get my rugby team down there, because they're going to spend all that money they've made in there. Like, loads of them have got successful businesses, either in it now or behind them, and are happy to spend their money with you. Untapped market.
Most sports teams are heavy drinkers.
Yeah.
That
Well,
just goes with the territory.
I think it's changing a bit now, but the OAPs will be. So, who do you want?
Oh hell, the ski team when we were able to cut loose, cut loose.
Yeah, but do I want Generation Z drinking one orange juice and a coffee, or do I want the oldies now coming in going, yeah, well, we'll take it easy. We'll only have 6 pints of beer tonight.
That's
cool.
it.
Go on, come on in.
Right, and the fifth area I want to look at is not a market per se. It's more of a.
It ties into a little bit the video I've done recently.
Yeah, but it's about what products you offer.
Yeah.
Outside of karting.
I'm after the coffee connoisseur. I want the people that are a bit snobby about which coffee brand they drink. Right, because they're happy to spend. Now, coffee in particular, because it's got. This is why I mentioned coffee in particular. It's a huge margin. You just go and look at your local coffee shops. Look at the footfall that's going through. Right, you got to get your right market and get the right coffee. They will turn up. Right, and also the people that turn up and drink coffee like that, quite often they're the people that are booking the parties in their families. It's quite often the people in those director type roles or senior management roles that have got the ability to influence or book the corporate events. You've got the right people coming in for the right product and you're making money on it. Now the difficulty is most kart tracks put barriers in the way of you just popping in for a cup of coffee.
Exactly. I mean, this is the big difference between the kart tracks I see around the UK in particular, and you could probably go most of the kart tracks that are just kart tracks are like this. You go to a family entertainment centre, and you walk in, and it's all open, and you can go anywhere without being questioned.
Yeah.
Whereas you walk into a kart centre and you all automatically walk into reception, and it's what are you here for? Do you want to sign up and things like this?
Yeah.
And it's a bit of well, I'm just here for coffee, or I'm just here for a meal.
Yeah, so I'd never think of going to a local kart centre where I live for a cup of coffee.
No.
But I'm always looking for places to meet clients, right? So we often end up drinking coffee somewhere. Now, if I had a space to go and sit and talk to my clients that serves great coffee, is a little bit off the beaten track, but is easy enough to get to, without me having to walk through a gauntlet of questions so I can get a coffee from you, I would buy coffee, I would use it, I'd have events there, I'd get more business people down because I work with business owners, right? So if you get that, to have the ability for someone to just pull up, even drive-through. I mean, if I could get a drive-through at my track, I'd have it. And I'd have a little space at the back. And I'd just make it more like, guess what? There's a few small outlets out there that have already thought this through for you. Starbucks, Costa.
A lot of these places, especially the indoor ones, are in the industrial area.
Yeah.
Now, they probably have to go some distance for a coffee or get a half-baked coffee somewhere. Whereas you have a good coffee, you'll start getting all of those people in there. They'll start seeing what's going on.
Yep.
And don't go, I want a piece of this. I want to be part of this,
Well, if you get them, once you've got them in there, it's what you do with them, isn't it? If they've got sites at the track and there's lots of fun stuff going on, and actually there's a lunchtime session on, and I can go and do 20 minutes down the track, there's all sorts of things I can do. And if you're doing that and you're in an industrial area, and even if there's only like a dozen units around you, for argument's sake, come Christmas party time, if you make them a half decent offer, guess what? All dozen of those will bring their Christmas party there. Even if it's not their sole one, they'll probably do something with you. So it's really thinking about footfall, high margin product, how it advertises you, where it positions you. Right? It starts to get very interesting. And the trick really, and coffee's a great example, you get the wrong coffee, you just aren't going to bring them in.
No.
You don't like a certain brand that I love. There's one brand in the UK I absolutely hate, and you're like, okay with it. Right? So me and you ain't going to meet in the coffee shop, but you get coffee lovers together who like the same brand of coffee. They will turn up.
Absolutely. But I think go-kart centres on the whole, have a pretty poor offering of food and beverage. And if they do have an offering, they're pretty poor at marketing and servicing their clientele. I mean, I spoke to a guy who told me he sells 53,000 slices of pizza a year.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I went and did the maths. I looked up on the internet.
Yeah.
And there's a place in the UK, a franchise in the UK, who's selling slices of pizzas for £3.50 each.
Blimey.
Right. Now, I reckon there's probably there's a cost there of about £1. So 53,000 slices of pizza at £2.50 profit. That's 113,500 on your bottom line.
That's so clever. Do you know what I really love about that as well is because food and beverage, you've always got that problem. So it's a perishable item. Now, coffee's not such a problem because it's cheap. Right? To go and get all the ingredients of food for pizza, it could potentially be expensive. But you could try it out for break even while you're building up your audience because you don't need a lot of items. So you could build your audience for break even, which is great, while you're trying out this idea and then work it out later. The mind boggles.
It's another thing we're thinking about talking to about from stage, isn't it? At Dortmund.
It would be impossible to come to Dortmund in January and not walk away with stuff that is going to just like make your track tens of thousands like richer. Whether that's dollars, pounds, whatever currency you're working, euros. We've got some really cool strategy and practical ideas on how you go about growing your track. Because we talk like this all day long when we chat. We have at least 4 days a month, like face to face, and we speak most days and come up with crazy stuff all day long, and that just really, really works well in business.
I mean, we sit down and when we talk about Dortmund, the whole aim is for I don't care who it is. So we base it on someone coming from Australia having to pay for the airfare, the accommodation, and all of that, and we want to, at a bare minimum, double what that cost him. I think it's 10x.
We talk often around about what would this make this the best investment for a kart track owners to get involved in that year, and I think we did well last time. Crikey, I think we're going to blow it out of the water for 2023. So
we'll leave the details in the comments below where you can check it out.
Yeah, you have a read.
And it's an amazing event, and you should be part of it.
Absolutely.
All right, well, it's goodbye from me.
Cheerio from me.
And we'll see you next week.